Give us understanding, give us important lessons of salvation that we might be saved through Jesus Christ our Savior, we pray. Amen. Alright, so we are going to look at Mark chapter 5 and learn lessons from Mark chapter 5. Mark chapter 5. We'll just stay on Mark chapter 5. We wouldn't go all over it, you know? That's Mark chapter 5. So we start. Reading from verse 1. And they came over onto the other side of the sea into the country of the Gadarenes. Right? So you had the Sea of Galilee here. And Christ and his disciples often travel on boats over the Sea of Galilee to go to different settlements on the Sea of Galilee, fishing settlements. Okay? It had cliffs sometimes, and it just had beach, and sometimes it just had bush, sometimes it just had rocks, but it was all by the sea, right? They had different scenery. So Christ would sometimes, they always crossing up and down to go to different communities. So we are being told he went to a place called the Gadarenes. Let's see what happened. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. Notice the Bible says with an unclean spirit, not with unclean spirits plural, but with what? An unclean spirit, one. That is not an evil angel. That is his experience. Because you will see plenty evil angels that were possessing him. So an unclean spirit is one unclean experience that he had. But look at the quality of it. Let's read. But let me just dramatize it how Mrs. White presented it here. As Christ and his disciples land on the shore, all on a sudden, this man rushed them from a place that had tombs close by the shore. And as he rushed them, the disciples rushed back to the water. And as he rushed and come to Christ, Christ just put up his hands up and bowed down right there. Isn't that wonderful?
Amen.
Right, so sometimes it will do good for us if we try to live the very cultural image of Jesus Christ. Because what the world needs is not so much preachers or just ministers, so the world needs people who are replicas of Jesus Christ. That presidents will see, that the common man will see and have respect because of Christ in them. Alright, so here is what happened. Verse 3. Who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains. So this is a guy they put in chains already. And he had supernatural strength to burst the chains. Now chains here were not made out of plastic. They didn't have plastic in those days. And not rope, certainly not. It says chains, which means it was made out of what? Iron. And could you imagine somebody have iron chains chaining him to tomb, and he could actually burst that? To run and attack Christ and the disciples suddenly as they now land on this ship? Now, the idea is that when Jesus Christ went there, he went there for that particular purpose. And always remember, when you see the disciples had all 3,000 coming to follow Christ after the day of Pentecost, it's not they that worked for that. Huh? It was Christ that worked for that. He sowed all the seeds. So now the disciples just have to go and start reaping. It comes like somebody went and they plant and everything there and it have its fruit. And all you and I are sent to do is to just start picking the fruits. Right? You will see this as we go on. Let's go. It tells us this, verse 4. Because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces. Neither could any man tame him. So there were people who tried to come and say, well, I could heal that man. I could tame him, and all went and tried to tame him. Some of them paid a very injurious price, so to speak, right, from this guy. So they could not stop him. It goes on. Verse 5. And always, night and day, he was in the mountains. He was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. So this guy had what we call dynamic possession. Now, evil angels have their different kind of possession. Sometimes a person normal to you, smiling normal, talking normal, and they may be possessed. Or sometimes a person moving together with you, and you're all moving normal, and suddenly they do something out of character. As evil angels rush and possess them. They're wondering what was going on in their mind. So that's why we must always abide in what? Christ Jesus. But this one had dynamic possession because he could burst steel, and in the night people lying down and they hearing this man growling and moaning all up where the tombs were, all up in the mountains, his voice was sounding. And this man would take stones and just keep cutting himself. Alright? Now why do evil angels make people do that? Take stones and keep cutting themselves? Because they love to see human beings harm themselves. They love to see us do wrong to hurt our own selves. Now we do not only do wrong to hurt our own self like dynamic things. So sometimes the things we say, sometimes the things we watch, sometimes the way we relate, we do things to hurt ourselves. And evil angels always rejoice in that. Why? Because the devil finds it an insult that God could create a being lower than him to defeat him. It's an insult to him. And worse yet, he calls the Father who was first created, which is Adam and Eve, to sin. And now you sinners just like me think you all could correct me? Not even with Christ. So he hates us. And as he hates us, he makes us do things to hurt ourselves, cut ourselves. And plus bodily mutilation and your blood flowing is a sign of Lucifer of sin. Because human blood symbolizes sin in the Bible. Okay? But the blood of Christ could cleanse us. But human blood symbolizes sin. So the blood of Christ cannot be human blood. It has to be spiritual blood, which is the life of Christ. Right? But we have here the man cutting himself and all sorts of things. Right? We go on in verse 6. And when he saw Jesus afar off, he ran and worshipped him. Did you see that? So now we see why the disciples and them shouldn't run. Because the man was running to Christ to worship him. Now why was he running to Christ to worship him? You and I must always remember that demons are tormented by their own ways. Sometimes you and I suffer conscience problems because of our wrong. But you must remember evil angels have it worse than us. And the little piece they could get to them is like a treasure. But it's not that they want the truth. It's like a person cursing and getting on, and then sometimes you go in the gardens and you sit down and relax. Or it's like a bandit shooting people and already rough music is, but sometimes you always go by some little place and sit down and relax. Because the human mind was meant for peace. Okay?
Amen.
The
Amen.
human mind was meant for what?
Peace.
So he see Christ and just look at the face. And all what the face showed him was enough for him to rush and worship. Just looking for some small piece. Now you see, that is the cue to heal the man. The fact that he came to honor Christ, it meant that the Holy Spirit put conviction upon this man's mind. And the fact that under conviction or under prevenient grace, he ran and bowed before Christ or worshipped before Christ, that would mean that Christ could now do something to help this man. Okay? Yet the Pharisees and scribes, who were the great men, would see Christ and look to curse and hit him on his face and spit. Not even the demon. The demons using this man make this man do this to Christ. So that is the reason why some religious leaders who claim to be following Jesus Christ are some of the most hard-hearted, dishonest, deceptive, and destructive people who give them a chance with you and they will make mincemeat out of you. This is the reason why when you're into ministerial things, you have to first learn to care for people. If you don't care for people, it's no sense paying you doing that because it's yourself you're caring for. And when you work yourself, the wrath of man worketh not the what? Righteousness of God. So you have to care for people, one of the things. So anytime you stand up to speak for people, you're not doing it to be heard, to be seen, or people say, well, oh, this is a great preacher, oh, this is a great person, oh, this person's good looking. You're doing it simply because you care for people and you want them to be better. That is your intention, that is your motive. That's what's in your mind. So when you stand up and you're speaking to help people, such a person God could use to speak to help people. And that's why that must be very important. You have to learn that. And as I often tell my brethren, I didn't just do that, just start to speak just so. I remember many nights kneeling and praying and struggling and saying, Lord, let me have concern for people. Let it not be to show yourself. Let it not be to show that I know. Let it be to show and help people. Over and over, until all I appreciated was to help people. So you may see Brother Medina standing here, but I have a history. And Mrs. White says most of our history is unseen. But we know it when we personally live our life in your home by yourself and you know what you are doing. If you understand what I'm saying, right?
Amen, amen.
Right, good. And this is the reason why in this whole thing you have to be honest and sincere. Tuesday doesn't want fake Christianity. Or you're pretending. You want the genuine thing. And if you want the genuine thing, we make sure we have a genuine spirit. But I have to have a genuine spirit when I'm talking to you all. Because I don't want to motivate you all to be hypocrites. Or motivate you all to just pretend in front of people, but on one side you are different. I would like to encourage you by the grace of God to be honest and genuine. Okay?
Amen.
So let's go on. It says here, verse 6 again. But when he saw Jesus afar off, he ran and worshipped him, and cried with a loud voice and said, What have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of the Most High God? I adjure thee by God that thou torment me not. So this is not the man speaking, but this is a spokesman for the demons that were influencing this man speaking. Even demons have a kind of order. One demon will be told, destroy this person, and take 3 or 4 and 5, and all they work together and destroy these people. They do not work counter each other, and they're chaotic and disorderly. They don't do that because they mightn't get the guy. So what they have to do, they have to work in what? Order. So the spokesman for these demons, this legion that was influencing this guy, he spoke through the man's voice and actually acknowledged who Jesus was. So the man only met Jesus for the first time. So it couldn't be he saying that. It had to be the demon. So when the man came to worship, the demon blocked him. Because and when the demon blocked him, the demon made a statement. He says this here again. What have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of the Most High God? I adjure thee by God that thou torment me not. Now once Jesus started to speak truth to this man, evil angels don't want to hear that. That is torment for them. That's why people who don't love the truth doesn't want to hear you. Because that is torment for them. Because what the truth does, the truth shows them that they are nothing and makes them feel inadequate. And when they begin to feel inadequate and that they are nothing, they naturally want to get rid of that light. So they will come at you or find nice things to say just to shut the light out. But somewhere they will try to shut the light out from you. That's what people do. And it happens in schools too. But sometimes you just walking and you are in Christ and little children see you and they're just tormenting you and pinching you and sticking you with pencil, doing everything to make you lose your cool. All you have to do is just watch them in the eyes and say, I love you in Christ Jesus. You will see how some of them will flee tormented because they don't want to hear the truth. So when this demon saw that, he said, you come to torment me? Now he's so selfish. Say us, but he say me. You know how they are selfish. Say, you come to torment me? Well, and then he made a statement that you and I must learn to use on people sometimes. He said he adjured Christ. The phrase adjure there is a statement that means they require the person to speak the truth before the universe. Remember Caiaphas do that. He said to Jesus, why don't you speak plainly? I adjure thee before God. Say whether thou art the Son of God. So the word adjure there means you're making a person make a statement before the courts of heaven, which will be written in the book, either against the name or either favorable to you. But that is not for people's private business. I am not supposed to come and say, I adjure thee, did you steal yesterday from such and such person? It's nothing like that. You're not supposed to do that for things like that. That's people's private business. You can talk to them privately to make them change. But you don't have to do that. Now when you do certain things that are of what you call of public interest, and they publicly lying to fool people, you make an adjournment for them to speak the truth. Now usually if they don't and they lie before you, something supernatural will happen, like they will fall down, or they will lose their voice, or something will happen. And that will be a sign to you from God that that person is lying. So here they do the same thing, the demons do the same thing with Christ. They adjure Christ not to torment them. So Christ said, well, okay, I wouldn't torment you. Watch what he said now. Watch what he did. Listen. And he said unto him, come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. So what did he say? Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. Notice he didn't say, come out of the man, all you thousands of evil spirits. He is addressing the experience that the man had, the unclean spirit, and you will see in a while what we're talking about. To pay attention to this part of the text. This detail is very important. He said here, come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. And when he says thou unclean spirit, he's addressing the experience that the man had. It's like if I'm saying, the selfishness that is in your heart, let it be removed by God's grace. It's like if I'm saying that. How do you know? Here is the next verse. And he asked him, what is thy name? And he answered, saying, my name is Legion, for we are what? Many. So it was many evil angels that crowding the fella. Now they don't go inside your body like if they put food in your stomach. And all of them in your body, and when your hand moves, so the evil angels move with you. When they go in the toilet, they sit down with you. Or when they sleep, they sleep with you. No, it doesn't be like that. They are around your body, pressing upon you. But they all have a concentrated evil experience. And that evil experience is affecting your mind because your mind resonates to that evil experience. Now sometimes you may have done this. Sometimes you ever feel a person, maybe somebody in the world come next to you and you're picking up evil from the person. Yeah. Like you know they're really evil. You know, it's something like that, but with evil angels, more. And here you had about 5,000 of them concentrating the same kind of evil upon this man. And Christ didn't address all of them. He just addressed the experience that the man had. But for the experience to move, something had to happen. If that experience or that spirit was to move from that guy, something had to happen. Those evil angels had to be driven away. So here is what happened. Let's go. And he asked him, what is thy name? And he answered, my name is Legion, for we are many. And he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country. Now there was near unto the mountains a great herd of swine feeding. Right, so somehow these demons wanted to destroy this area. They didn't want to move. And could you imagine the spokesman for the demons asking Christ not to let them move from that country? Now if a demon asks you, please don't let me do such and such, what would you do? You would say, not on your life, depart in Jesus' name. But imagine Jesus merciful even to demons. If he is merciful to demons who try tricks, much more about us who are not demons. So that shows you how much he's merciful to you. So sometimes your heart may be depressed that God don't like me. Look at the wrongs I have done. Look how terrible I am and so on. And remember, when you were terrible, he still gave his life for you. And when you were terrible, he reached out to help you. And you may have terrible plans now, but he's still trying to help you. Isn't that lovely? Right, so when you look at these things in the scriptures, you see how wonderful our God is. Now watch this. Notice what you just saw there, right? They tell him, don't send us out of the country. For some reason they wanted to stay there. Evil angels sometimes love certain areas. That's why some people, they call it, they have a name for it, like when you see like a demon possess a house. No matter what, you come, the demon always come back. You remove the demon out, he always come back. Like they just love those areas because evil angels have a philosophy of zones of influence. Let me tell you this again. Evil angels have a philosophy of zones of influence. If they know this guy can't read much, but he can talk a lot, and his talking could influence people, they will use that guy and push him way, way forward to make him influence people. And no matter how you try to make evil angels move, they still stick with this guy. Or if a house is an area where they plan to destroy a community, they'll still go back in that house. And you drive them out, they go back in that house, because those are zones of influence. So apparently, this Gadarenes country was a zone of influence to do damage to Israel, so they didn't want to leave. So they begged Christ not to let them leave, but they also had another trick. They wanted to drive Christ away. So the demons know people. They know the people were a money-making community out of swines. They used to sell pigs. They used to eat pork. They used to make ham. By the way, ham is not a modern thing, it's an ancient thing to it. The ancient Egyptians had ham to it, and the Babylonians, all of them had ham to it. So don't think you and I doing something new for Christmas. Not at all. Not at all in the least way. It's just the same old tradition. The food and all they're eating. So they used to have all kind of meat from the pig salad, the pig foot, the pig tail, the sauce, with all the leeks and the herbs and all this. So they had everything. It was a big community making real money out of selling pig. But the evil angels, so smart, they know economics too, so they say this country is run by pig sales. You know, this country is run, the gatherings, by pig sales. If we want to get rid of the influence of Christ, we have to make the people themselves drive him out. What better way than to influence the pigs? Make the people lose the pigs. But you must remember, a herd of pigs in those days here is not like from here to this toilet. You're talking like from here to all the way over there. So, by the thousands, as far as your eye could see, and the place smelling very bad because you know how pigs smell, right? When they drop it. So it had plenty of them. So let's see. Verse 11. And they were near unto the mountains, a great herd. How big? A great herd of swine feeding. And all the devils, this time is not just the spokesman for the demons, but how much now? All of them start to beg Christ. Notice it says, and all the devils besought him, saying, send us. No, before it was I and me. Now here they're using us. You understand? It says here, send us into the swine, that we may enter into them. And forthwith, Jesus gave them leave. Now that is a sign of who Jesus was. To give you leave means I'm giving you time to go there. So it means he's the one that had authority. He's the one ruling everything. Including those demons that had to follow what he said. So Jesus gave them leave. He said, okay, I'm giving you time, go in the swine. Let's read on. And Jesus gave them leave. And the unclean spirits went out and entered into the swine. And the herd ran violently down a steep place into the sea. And they were about 2,000 and were choked in the sea. Did you just see that? You know how much is 2,000 pigs? And this is what happened. People were there, some people were watching. They were seeing the whole scenario. They saw when Jesus healed the man by telling the evil experience to leave him. And they saw Jesus having a conversation like with the man, but they didn't hear. But all of a sudden, they see like Jesus had to do so to the herds. And all of a sudden, they see the pig just start to jump up and scream, and they turn like a herd and they start to run. Evil angels figuring they take advantage of soft Jesus. Oh, Jesus is soft. Get through with him, look, make them drive him away. So they think they get through with Jesus, and so what do they do? Man, they make those swines run and commit suicide, so to speak, jump off the cliff. And it was so much that when they fall off the cliff into the sea was choked with them. That area, that's what we have been told. They kill these swine, and then they tell themselves, well, we got through. We actually damaged the image of Jesus. These people here lose all that money, and they'll be angry with him and they'll drive him away. But you see, the evil angels wouldn't just calculate for that, they will push people to do that too. So let's see what happens. And then I'll stop afterwards. Verse 14. And they that fed the swine fled and told it in the city and in the country. And they went out to see what it was that was done. And they come to Jesus and see him that was possessed with the devil and had the legion sitting and clothed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. Let's just stop here. So those who were feeding the swine, which was a large amount of people, who saw everything, they run into the city and said, listen, there is a guy who just caused us to lose all our money. All the herds get lost in the city, all. He just moved his hand so, and that guy who we know possessed, who does the ball by the tombs, he is healed and he's sitting down and he wearing clothes too. Because he said he was clothed and in his what? Right mind. So this is what Jesus did. One of the disciples that were there had extra clothes and they give the naked man and make him cover himself. That should show men and women that it is always God's interest that people should cover themselves. You don't want you with your short pants as a man walking in quarter speed. You don't want you as a woman in miniskirt. You don't want you as a man just wearing a merino or a vest or whatever you call it and you're walking around here. He wants you to be properly what? Covered as male and female. That's how we want you. And if we are to follow his standard, look at his standard in Revelation 1. Down to the ankles, he had his garments. So let's just follow him and do it. But you see, God wanted the man to be clothed because nakedness is a sign of demon possession. Demons always know that the showing in bodily nakedness is a type of showing your spiritual nakedness. And that's the reason why when Adam and Eve sinned and they just take some fig leaves. What is fig leaves? That's pornography for us. It's a kind of fig tree with a kind of leaf like this. They take it and they put it around them and it's like a kind of pornography. And God said, no, 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 no. He killed the lamb, he take it, he made clothes and show them how they should wear their clothes. So just let all of us mark this well. We are supposed to wear clothes as God shows us to wear. We do not wear clothes because we just find it is a modern thing to do. Or it's a civilized thing to do. We wear clothes because God shows us how to wear clothes. We had taken our own kind and he said no. At the very beginning he showed us that we're supposed to dress properly. That's why dress reform always goes with when you become converted. Because the moment you become converted, he'll tell you no. You understand? Look what we are seeing. And men and women dress very bad these days, especially women. Sorry to say that. Especially women dress very bad. You see? I always say, if they have to like you for the shape of your body, they don't love you. Because they don't live with the body, they live with the what? Mind. They don't interact with the body, they interact with what? The mind. And they have beautiful shaped bodies, both male and female, and they are demons. They're the worst thing to relate to. So the point about it is how you are. That's why every one of us should always make it our duty, men and women, to be as nice as we can in our personality traits in relating to people. But let it just not be pretense. If you say, you know, let me talk kind to this person, adopt the kindness as your personal trait. How do you adopt it as your personal trait? Get a truth from Christ that shows why you should be so. Once you accept the truth, you adopt the trait as yours. Isn't that wonderful? Amen. And that's how you build your personality traits, right? Well, let's go on, finishing off now. Right? Now, it says when they saw him in his right mind, they were afraid. Now, fear always happens when something new comes into a person's world for the first time. Right? Come into your world for the first time, then you get fear. Watch what happens here. They now see Christ. They see this man that nobody could heal, that everybody was afraid of, sitting in his right mind and in clothes, and talking with the disciples and other things. And that get them scared. If he could do that to that man, what would he require us to give up? So each man begin to think about themselves and recognize they're going to have to lose a lot, and they get scared. And they get scared. But not just only that. When they saw that all those pigs were dead and they had lost their millions, so to speak, in today's economy, what happened? Let's check. Then I'm stopping. And they saw it, told them, verse 16, how it befell to him that was possessed with the devil, and also concerning the swine. And they began to pray him to depart out of their coast. And when he was come into the ship, he that had been possessed with the devil prayed him that he might be with him. Howbeit Jesus allowed him not, and said unto him, Go home to thy friends, and tell them how great things the Lord had done for thee, and had had compassion on thee. And he departed and began to publish in Decapolis how great Jesus had done for him, and all men did marvel. Right. So let's just stop here now. Here is the point. Here is the shocking thing. Those people hearing this man, before we go there, Jesus goes back into the ship. The disciples go with him. And the man run now and come to the ship and say, please take me with you. Let me be where you are. I want to be where you are. That a song like that years ago. Right? I want to be where you are. Jesus said no. Go back and tell them how God had been compassionate to you. What great things he did for you. And the man went back. And when people used to see the man coming, the first were afraid, but they shocked to see this man wearing clothes, not balling on the place, and preaching Jesus Christ. And guess what? He reached everybody more than if it was just Peter or John that had gone and preached. So that later on, after Christ had gone into heaven, when the disciples went in the area, they got almost everybody to accept the truth. They only read where Christ had sown. But here is the point. There is no better testimony than your testimony of how God speaks the truth to you. And there's a reason why you must also repeat how God spoke the truth to you. There's a reason why you should repeat it. Because when things come to you later to turn you from the faith, you would always remember what experience or what blessing or what compassion God had upon you. And you will not lose your first love. You will not lose your first love. You see, the devil wants us to be like Trinidadians and Americans in politics. You're campaigning, you don't want this government doing so much evil. 5 years passed, now you want them again. And they didn't get converted, you know. Now you want them again. And this keeps happening over and over and over again. Point about it is this. When God changes you, and He makes you different, and you are different, and you testify of your first love, how you became converted to people, what touched you, what reached you, and you keep that. The best thing for you is this. It keeps in your mind how you came into the faith. Once it keeps that in your mind, you wouldn't lose your first love. You would be in Christ. Yes. You would be blessed. And evil angels wouldn't try to send somebody later on to make you deny your own experience to be like that person who is lost. You didn't hear that one, huh? That one went with the breeze. But may the grace of God add His blessing as we learn these lessons from this study here with the demons. Yes, I guess.
Before you read Brother Medina, you mentioned in verse 8, right, when Jesus told the demons to come out, to come out of the man, and the unclean spirit. Then He said unto him, come out of the man, the unclean spirit. Now what I want to find out, now in my early Christian experience, I have learned that when demons in you, as you mentioned, it takes the whole body. I used to wonder how demon could, wondering that. But you said that the evil angels surround the person, right, and the experience in the mind. So what I want to ask, if when Jesus said come out of the person, is it the experience He's telling to come out? What He telling? When He say come out of the man or come out of the person?
It's just a figure of speech. Remember when Jesus addressed the waves and tell them to cool themselves? Yeah. Jesus was on the boat and He addressed the winds and the waves, and He says they obey His voice. Yeah. but they are not intelligent to understand. So when Jesus tells them to cool themselves, it is just a figure of speech. It's not that he was actually telling the waves itself to listen to me and understand. But those words were supposed to be worked upon by angels that were working with Jesus to cool everything. And so likewise, when he says, come out of him, thou unclean spirit, while he's addressing the experience the man have, it's not that the experience itself, apart from the man's mind, could understand. But what will happen is that holy angels, as Mrs. White put it, that excel in strength will fly down and surround the man and beat back the evil angels. But the man now will accept what Jesus said, and from that moment his mind will be free. So the point is to break the hold of evil angels upon the mind by removing them. So once you remove the angels, and they don't have the influence upon the mind of the person, the word of God can take over the person. That is why Christ warned and said, make sure you follow the truth, you don't turn back unless a worse thing happens to you. Because some people, evil angels, like to possess some areas. And they will come back and make sure the person goes. Right, so then what really went was the experience. What really leaves the person is the horrible experience he had. But to remove it, you have to send all those demons away. That's why although Christ addressed one demon, who was his spokesman, and one experience which a person had in him, in his mind, and by that 5,000 evil angels, more than the swine, that was influencing mind, the person, yet Jesus, knowing these things, was able to properly heal the person. Ask anybody, where did you get this idea that demons dwell in the physical body itself like that? So you say, well, we've always thought that. Where did you learn that? Well, Christ said, come out, so that means it was inside. You understand? But Christ tell the waves, peace be still, and they went still. So that means waves could understand. And wind could understand. They are alive. They have intelligence. Do they sin? That's a whole new theology. If you understand. Right, so this is the reason why we need read these things for yourself. So don't spend time reading it. Let us thank God for his mercy towards all of us. I have reason to thank God for his mercy towards me. And I suppose all of you will have reasons to thank God for his mercy towards me. But always remember, if he's willing to listen to tricky demons, he's more than willing to listen to you.